parents, Mrs. Nelson here. Thought I'd run through some of the things you're going to get in your packet this week so you know how to use them with your preschooler. You're going to get 2 games. One is going to be a rabbit game and one is going to be a puppy dog game. Both are played the same depending on which one you want, or you can do both. You will just take the animal of your choice. You'll cut it out and have your child color it. You don't have to color it, but then you're going to cut out the mouth part on each one. And this is a game where they are going to be counting, but they're going to be feeding the animals. And so that is how you set that up. I happen to have Kleenex boxes, empty Kleenex boxes available. You can, there'll also be a mouth for the dental math game. And you can either keep that on the sheet and just put teeth in it, or you can feed it, cut it out, color it like I have, and I just put it on a Rubbermaid container, and I am going to play it where I feed the mouth different things. So that is how we're going to play those. Part of the fun is going to be your preschooler helping do that. Maybe the first day all you do is prep the game. You have them color it, cut it out, put it together, and that's all you do for that day. You also, if you have some active boys or girls, you can hang this maybe on the edge of a table and use rubber bands and shoot shoot Cheerios into its mouth, or take it outside and do something like that. So use your imagination, let them use their imagination, and see how they want to do that. The way the game will be played is you will get cards. There are going to be different kinds of cards, and this one happens to be recognizing, holding your fingers up and equaling how many they equal. So this one happens to say, doggy wants a treat. How many treats can he eat? So you would lay these down. They would draw a card, look at the number, and then they would feed the dog or rabbit that amount. So what we're doing with these cards is we are wanting them to begin to quickly recognize these. So these are ones they'll play over and over. And the quicker they get at that, the quicker they're going to be in mental math later. You will, for the younger preschoolers, even the youngest ones, I would start with just the number recognition. And I would start with maybe just a 5 if you have a really young preschooler, and getting them to be able to recognize these numbers. Now you also, once you have these cards, you can just lay them across the floor and have them find the number, say the number, put something on there, how many it represents. So with these, you're wanting to see that they know this is 3, and you're wanting them to put 3 things on there, so that they are understanding that 3 means 3 actual things. There also is going to be a set of dice. Again, the same thing. You're going to want them to be able to begin to recognize these numbers quickly. And then for the older preschoolers, they're going to be what we call a 10 frame. So it's a frame, and it actually has 10 squares. And so each square represents the number. And so then as they get older, you'll start to begin to talk about 5 is half of the 10 frame, and or all 10. The last thing, you're going to have some dice in there. If you don't have a dice at home, or you don't have a big dice and you want a big dice, there will be this. If you can print it out, or you can actually make your own. If you have some kind of sturdy paper, you can draw that. The way that we put it together is you actually just tape up the sides. I always put in a few Kleenexes to stabilize it. Close the lid. And a piece of tape. Then they can roll this. If you have a younger preschooler, this one you will notice only goes to 3. So for a really young preschooler, that's what you're going to start with. They can roll it across the floor, and then maybe you have Cheerios and they're going to match 2 Cheerios on the 2 dots, or 3. And you will just keep working with that. The last thing we're going to talk about this week are, since we're having Easter and a lot of you will be using Easter eggs, we're going to talk about Easter eggs and how 12 equals a dozen. So they have that terminology. One of the things you can do with your eggs, I don't know if you can see, but you can write the number on it and then the dots to represent it. So number 9, I went ahead and went with 6 and 3, so they can begin to recognize those. An activity you might do with those is to take these all apart, put them in a big container, and then let them match the dots with the actual number, and have them do that, and then time them. If they get really good at it, time them and make it a game like that. Those are the last thing. The last thing for the older preschool also are tally marks. You may use these and not remember what they were called. These are tally marks. And so the older preschool, our age preschool, they have been working to be familiar with the tally marks. I think that's it for this week. If you have questions, please email me if there's anything I can answer, or you have a question about how to play any of the things. We missed you preschoolers. I hope you guys are doing well. We're praying for you all. Thank you.